welcome to C4C Minecraft. This is your host, BadgerFish71, coming right at you. Today, we've got various things on the menu. We're going to be doing a little build. We have a new destination that we're working on the server. It's Noahs Ark. I just kind of gave it away. Let's go and take a look at that. But what we're going to do before we do all the building on Noah's Ark is to take a look at how to properly get there. Now, what you didn't see me do is build a tunnel. And so I built a tunnel that takes us all the way out to the Ark. But instead of you seeing the Ark right away, we're going to do this build, and you'll get a taste for what I do to help the players get around the world. So I'm going to break out these blocks here. I guess I only need to break out one block, really. So let's do that. We can put those back. And we're going to put back the blackstone tiles. And we're going to put back the chiseled tuff. And this was missing originally, so I'm going to put that back in there. Looks like we're missing a couple, but this will be our launching point. Just like we have our rails here, we're going to have a rail that starts over here. So we're going to take a stone block, I'm going to park that there, and we will go over to our crafting table here. Just drop one little stone button, just like that, and place it right on top of this stone. Now, it doesn't appear to be, but buttons are redstone devices, and they charge up the object that they're sitting on, or the objects next to them. So when we press this button, this block here now has a redstone charge on it, and it will power items that are next to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our rails, but I need to get my rail stuff out. That is hidden in my yellow rail building shulker box. And inside I have quite a few little items that will help me to build rails. So I'm going to grab me a good section of rails. I will not have enough, but I am going to also collect some redstone. And we will need some powered rails, so I will put those in my inventory. Now, I shouldn't need my axe for now, and so we will just park that away. And some of you may be interested to know why I store my tools this way. I think every Minecraft player has a slightly different layout in their hotbar, but as a miner and an explorer and a collector, I use my two pickaxes. I have my Silk Touch and my Fortune pickaxe right next to each other, and I use those a lot. And mining, occasionally you run into dirt, so I have that. And then my sword here, I keep that in the number 4 spot, so I can just reach up with my index finger and load up the sword. So the rest of them I usually will scroll my mouse button through, or my mouse wheel, to get to those. You can hear a lot of noises in here. We got a lot of mobs moving around. But what we're going to do here, we're going to place a powered rail here, and you can see that it's not powered right now. But if I press this button, you can see that this charged block now charges that rail. So it will push the rail out. All right, I'm going to run it down the center. If you've watched any of the other videos, you'll see that the rail runs right down the center. One of the things that I like to do is have a secondary rail, powered rail, that's right next to the first one that will boost the speed of the cart right out the gate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a redstone torch down 2 blocks down, not just 1 block, because the powered rail won't sit on a plain block, and I will have to go collect me just a little bit of redstone since I didn't save those. I'm just going to knock out a couple here, collect those, go back in there, and now let's see here. I'm going to forego the shovel this time, and put some netherrack there. So I'm going to place the netherrack there, and now because this block is on top of that redstone, it's going to power this one, and you can see it's lit. And I heard a ghast, and I don't want to have my work destroyed, so I'm just going to be careful by looking out there. I'm going to connect these two rails together and then start heading off, and you can see that it's adjusted already. And so when I power this one, it sends you out, and then you immediately hit another powered rail, which accelerates you. If you don't do this one right next to the beginning of the track, it takes a while before you get up to full speed. You have to hit another powered rail. So my issue when I'm doing powered rails up hills is that I do on every other block. I know that's not completely necessary, but that is my preference. And I have to dig down 2 again. I'll place one. I will put a block. Now I goofed up already. So I'm gonna stack myself up here. Okay, so in this case I only need to go down 1 because of the stairs. So I'm gonna place that redstone there, and a netherrack block there, and then when I place my powered rail, you can see that it is now powered. I'm going to skip this one, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. Place that, and I'm going to collect those netherrack blocks so I don't have to keep collecting them. And now I can place that powered rail. You can see it just keeps going there. And we'll do it one more time up here. Oops, I went too far. I'm going to place that redstone, place the netherrack, place the powered rail, and then we'll go with a regular rail. And we'll just keep on with this plan. Redstone, block, powered rail, regular rail, break, break, redstone, another block, powered rail, regular rail, and look how it's connected that. So that should carry us all the way up the stairs. Some folks like to use multiple powered rails in sequence there. I try to find a balance between resources, because those powered rails do require a fair amount of gold and redstone and stuff, whereas the regular rails are very simple to do. So again, we've come to a set of stairs, and I'm going to start at the bottom and break. Whoops, looks like I went all the way through there. I'm going to break that one, and I have to be careful. My tools are very, very quick, and I end up breaking more than I want to oftentimes. So I'm place a powered rail there, regular rail here, regular rail there. Yep, yep, I just have that barely going there. All right, one more powered block, powered rail, and it's all connected. Now, when I'm on the flat, I do a powered rail every 16 blocks. You do start to slow down as soon as you get off the powered rail, but as you go, you're going to waste a lot of powered rail if you use too much. And so that's what I do. 16 blocks seems to work for me. So we sort of have one here, so I'll count that one, and then we'll count out 15 more. And because I have 60, that'll mean that we can go down to 45. And now we know that was 15 from there. And so now I will dig down 2, place that one, put in our netherrack, place our powered rail, good to go. And then I'll do 16 this time, which would normally be 30 for 15, but we're doing 16, so it's 29. Oh, broke it. Just have to be careful. Place that block, powered rail, and 16 from 29 is 13. So when we see it, whoops, one too many. So we got 16 again. Boy, just a quick tap will get me all the way down there. All right, powered rail. And I do believe we are, that was 13, so I need 3 more. And we can see in my inventory, I do not have 13 more rails, so we're going to have to get busy here. Unfortunately, I have no iron in my storage here, so we're going to have to crack out an ender chest, and we're going to have to get out a couple things. I've got my wood shulker here, so in my wood shulker I will take out, it doesn't really matter. I have more oak than anything, so I'll grab a stack of oak logs, and we'll put that back in the ender chest. And I may want to get rid of some of these other inventory items just because they're filling up my inventory. Uh-oh, we're going to crack into my money chest here because that's where I store my iron. And inside you'll see that, well, I have some resources. I'm going to just take this partial stack here, and we'll put this one back into my ender chest. And now, let's see, I'm going to park that in there and that in there. That's part of the Ark build that we're working on, and we'll get to that later. For now, I might just dump some of these other items elsewhere. Well, now that I think about it, I need a crafting table as well, so we'll just park one of those right in the wall here. I'm going to actually recess it in the wall. I doubt anybody will ever use it again, but you never know. Okay, so we need to break up this iron into a number of other ingots, and then we can do our rail creation, and that's not how you make rails, is it? Oh, that's the other way. Okay, so that gives me 16 rails, but as you can see, we have way more to go than that. So that's what I did wrong. We're going to place all those there. Okay, so we have, what, 2 stacks, 2.5 stacks now. And I'm going to just toss those 2 bamboo. That's not worth keeping around here. All right, for the time being, I'm just going to unload some stone here so I have some inventory space. I'll have to go back in and clean that up later. But back in the ender chest, and I didn't leave room in there, but that's okay. I'll silk touch this one and put the powered rails back in. And if I remember correctly, we needed 3 more to complete our run of 16. I think that's 3 deep. There we go. So place that, cover it over, and a powered rail. And let's see, 16 from 40, or 16 from 61 is 45. Okay, make sure, sometimes when I'm walking it doesn't place one in every single slot, so I have to go back. It's not going to hurt anything if I'm 1 or 2 off. I used to count to 4, kind of 1 1000, 2 1000 as I ran, and placed the powered rails and then just connected everything, but I'm just going to stick with this method. 45 minus 16, I believe, is 29. So that completes another section, and I went and dug too deep again. I'm trying to click ever so briefly on that mouse, but I just can't get it. Okay, and 29 minus 16 is 13. And a redstone torch, and another rack block, and a powered rail. And we'll place, oh, we got an interesting vantage point of some crimson forest and some glowstone in there. All right, we've used up that stack. We're going to jump to this one. We have 3 to go. And then we can put our powered rail here with a redstone torch and another block. And off we go, and 29 minus 16 is 13 again. Oh, it looks like we were hitting a corner. Okay, so that takes us down to 13. I'm going to jump in there and grab that block because I ran out of netherrack already. It's getting left down inside, but it's just netherrack. We don't care about that. So we'll finish out this stack. And we should need 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And another torch. Another powered rail. And we'll do another 16, which should take us to 45. There we go. 45. Oh, we're almost there. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate it because hopefully the payout will be pretty good. I need to go and steal some more netherrack blocks to fill in these gaps here. Powered rail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here, let's see. I like going in the middle. That's kind of nice. Now, like I said, I like to have let's do something different. We'll put a different block there. There we go. And I'm gonna have to fish out those. I'm gonna have to fish out those stones again. Take a look here. Diamond boots, silence armor, stone. There we go. So we can place that one. Grab out some stone. And we don't need a crafting table for a button. So we just grab our button, we place it on the block, and now we don't have to add a redstone here because we don't want that to be powered until the button is pressed. And as I said before, I want to have another powered rail very near the start of the rail. And we'll put those netherrack blocks back in the hotbar, powered rail, and then finish out the rail system. So I'm going to drop my rail box, and I'm going to pull out those junk items that I don't need in here, and put my rail equipment back in there. I think that should be good. I'm going to put that back into the ender chest, and I'll collect this one and this one. Now, what's the first thing you do when you get to the portal? Well, it depends if you've just created a railway and then forgot to have a minecart that you can use. So we have a couple options here. I should have one in a chest somewhere. I just don't remember which one I put it in. Logs, I have lots of, oh, there's a minecart right there. Look at that. One minecart, as requested. Okay. We'll put that back in there. We'll collect our ender chest because we do not want to forget it in an awkward place. I have done that. I waited into the end and flew all kinds of distance looking for extra elytra and tools, loot in the... Uh-oh. This is why we check. Anyway, I was looking... Now I have to get all my stuff out again. All right. All right, all right. That's why you bring an ender chest into the end, because I was not going to be able to bring anything back, and I only brought a little bit of food. It was kind of embarrassing. But guess what they have in end cities? Ender chests. And everything was good. So, thankfully, I grabbed a few extra ender chests. You can see that I have actually a couple in my inventory. Right here, in case I place one and forget. Okay, I'm too lazy to walk, so I'm just going to walk to the next rail, drop my cart, push forward ever so slightly, and be thankful that I don't have to ride the rail that slow the entire distance, because that would just be horrible. So we're gonna hit those powered rails on the uphill, and there we go, just like that. All right, we're gonna have to set a, let's see if there's any signs in here. I don't see any signs. We could make an oak sign real quick. Although I think I would prefer to have, I think we have to have 6, whoops. There we go. We got us 3 signs, and now we can park this on the back and say the Ark, or better, Noah's Ark. If I left it at that horrible spelling, I don't know what we'd find at the other end. I don't know what an oracle is, but all right. So now we could check it the other direction. Down we go. Off we go. Now this is not all I do for my tunnels. When I came through here earlier, there were lots of piglins and probably more hoglins than I've seen all together in one place. And it was quite the fight. And I better eat while we're traveling here. Yeah, look at that. The ride works the entire way. That is pretty exciting. And my inventory is full again. I tried getting rid of that bamboo. Sometimes things keep coming back. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's sleep real quick. I don't need... There we go. I don't need creepers blowing up my new location here. We've got mobs everywhere. And zoglins here. That's okay. All right. So I promised you that we're building the Ark. And here it is. Just the outline. But it is... Well, that's interesting. There are an interesting number of arrows just sticking into the ground there. Either there was a shootout or there was a skeleton. All right, look at this. So I'm working on this to build this to scale. As you can see, this thing is huge. Absolutely huge. So I've got a keel line and I've got these various support structures to help come up with the shape of the ship and also to hold it up while the rains are coming. And as you can see, it is just a massive, massive build. I want to say it's 137 blocks, being that a block is 1 meter and a cubit is about 1.5 feet. Doing a little math, it's about 137 blocks long. It is 23 blocks wide, and it is 14 or 15 blocks tall. So as you can see, this is going to be a very, very big build. And I have Tifa and Shalom to thank for a large, large amount of wood that they have gone and collected. Many chests full of wood that we're going to use. And I'm hoping that I have some helpers to help build this crazy thing. And one of the adventures is going to be filling it with all the animals that are in Minecraft, because it doesn't seem like a lot until you start adding them up with pandas and parrots and goats and sheep and cows and pigs and turtles and ocelots and so on and so on. So we certainly will not fill up the Ark, but it will be fun collecting all the different types of animals and getting them in here. So you can expect big things, literally, from this build as we go. I'm going to give you a little flight around here as I shuffle around a lot of this stuff in my inventory. We'll zoom up high and come around and take the soaring look down on the Ark as it stands so far. Yeah, it's just massive. Oh, I landed it. So, yeah, just the scale and scope of this build and the massive amount of wood it's going to take to complete it. So, if you're a member of the server and you want to be a part of this, you know how to get here now. You just take the rail in the spawn nether hub, and it'll take you right here. We will see. Maybe with a big group of people, we will have this thing built in no time. I am looking forward to seeing it all completed. I am not that much of a builder, so I don't know how much detail and style I want to include on this build, but with a little help, or a lot of help, I think we'll have something special to show the rest of the world on our video series. So I think I'm probably going to wrap that up here. It's so awesome to have you here and to celebrate all the stuff that's going on our server. And I look forward to seeing you online, and have a very blessed day.